Welcome back. Today, we're exploring fellowship, the primary expression of our love for others within the church community as commanded in the Great Commandment. While the term fellowship sometimes suggests merely social interaction, biblical fellowship, or koinonia, involves much deeper sharing of life, faith, and purpose that stands at the heart of church membership. In Acts 2:42, we read that early believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship and to the breaking of bread and to prayer. This passage places fellowship alongside other essential spiritual practices, revealing it as fundamental to church life rather than optional additions. True fellowship creates the relational context where Christian growth and ministry naturally flourish. Think about the difference between individual musicians practicing alone versus playing together in an orchestra. While solo practice develops personal skill, orchestral experience creates harmonies and complexities impossible for individual players. Similarly, while personal spiritual disciplines are essential, fellowship produces dimensions of spiritual life and growth that simply cannot develop in isolation. So, how does biblical fellowship shape church membership? First, fellowship embodies mutual belonging beyond attendance. Romans 12:5 states, "In Christ, we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all others." Biblical fellowship isn't merely attending functions together, but recognizing our fundamental interdependence, that we genuinely need one another for spiritual health and effectiveness. Membership acknowledges this mutual belonging. Second, fellowship creates space for one another commands. The New Testament contains over 50 one another instructions. Love one another, serve one another, encourage one another, bear one another's burdens, etc. These commands require intentional relationships where we know others well enough to recognize needs and opportunities. Membership involves creating these relationship contexts through small groups, ministry teams, and informal connections. Third, fellowship provides practical care in life's challenges. Acts 4:32 shows the early church sharing resources so generously that there was no needy persons among them. While approaches vary across church traditions, biblical fellowship always includes tangible support during difficult seasons, whether through formal assistance programs or informal member-to-member care. Membership means both offering and receiving such practical fellowship. Fourth, fellowship offers spiritual protection against deception and drift. Hebrews 3:13 instructs believers to encourage one another daily so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. In isolation, we easily rationalize, compromise, or embrace distorted thinking. Close fellowship provides loving accountability that helps us recognize and resist spiritual dangers. Membership includes accepting this protective function of community. Fifth, fellowship creates authentic witness through visible love. Jesus stated in John 13:35, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." The quality of relationships within the church provides evidence of Christ's transforming power that no evangelistic program alone can generate. Membership involves contributing to this corporate testimony through genuine care for fellow believers. This week, evaluate your experience of biblical fellowship. Beyond social interaction, are you engaged in relationship where you know others' spiritual journeys and they know yours? Have you created context where one another commands can be practiced consistently? Are you both offering and receiving practical care? Have you invited accountability that protects against spiritual drift? Is your love for fellow believers visible enough to provide witness of Christ's transforming power? Choose one action to deepen your fellowship engagement. This might involve joining a small group, inviting another member to coffee for deeper conversation, offering practical help to someone who's facing challenges, asking a mature believer for specific accountability, or reconciling a strained relationship in the context of church community. Let your membership increasingly reflect authentic biblical fellowship rather than mere attendance or activity. Remember, fellowship isn't an additional program, but the relational environment where the church functions as Christ intended. As Dietrich Bonhoeffer observed, Christian brotherhood is not an ideal which we must realize. It is rather a reality created by God in Christ in which we may participate. Through committed engagement in fellowship, you experience this divine reality, the unique community where we truly learn to love others as Christ loved us.